and buddies, but it's always the same. Playing with the boys. Staying, playing with the boys. Aperitifs and sunsets. I played with boys. I'm playing with the boys. We're back. The mustache is back. Sports Mask is back. Episode 111, 111. Get those $111 super chats in, folks. I'm just going to do a telethon like all these other shows. I'm going to give in. I already started blocking like all these other losers. I'm just going to watch clips and not talk for minutes on end and call it a show. That's what you people want, right? That's what you want to give money to, apparently. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play clips of other people's shows and not talk. And I guess you'll just give me money, right? Isn't that what podcasting is now? Right? You just don't talk. You watch other people's shows, and people give you money. That's what it is, apparently. These shows are still going. Somebody's giving them money. So it's really shame on all of you. Not you, maybe people specifically, but the greater you. Those people. You fine people. You Stanselites know the deal, of course. That's why the masses tune in every week. Numbers continuing to look great out there, Yuzi. Absolutely unbelievable what's happening out there. It is March. Hit my Casio G-Shock, of course. It is March 14th, year of our Lord and Savior, Jesus Hieronymus Christo, 2025, for those that haven't been deported yet. You're on your way. I'm going to self-deport myself. Great app. Have you seen this, folks? There's an app where you can deport yourself. Oh, it's amazing what's happening out here. Oh, Jesus Christ. Right in Brennan and Shuley verse and John verse. Fat effing face right off the bat. Coming in with the hammer. Vinny Cash to God. I'll put this towards my laptop fund so I can once again get back to uploading these on audio since I'm using my 2016 MacBook Pro. It almost didn't turn on today. I got scared. I couldn't even load this. Vinny Cash in the house, getting us rolling. Unbelievable what's happening out here. $100 from me and Funky Bronco. I got a Funky Bronco. I might send you the link one week. You have. I'm curious to know what kind. I mean, you clearly have some kind of mental disability. I kind of like it, as we all know. I enjoy characters. I mean, I technically do a show with Ski Mask, although as we've been saying, I'm carrying this network into 2025. Well. I don't know what Ski Mask is doing. We're going to try. I'm going to do a show Sunday. We're doing a Ski Mask Collective Sunday, whether Ski Mask shows up or not. I enjoy it. This is a sports program. So, although lately I've delved into other things as we're in the sports abyss, although we're coming to the end of it. We'll get to that in a second. But mostly I try to. The idea is all the podcast and all the bullshit. That was all technically for the Ski Mask Collective show, and this is the best sports entertainment podcast on the planet here at Sports Mask. So I'll definitely got to put out a Ski Mask Collective on Sunday. Are we just going to call it Blockhead Mask now? Apparently he doesn't wear a mask anymore. I don't know what he's doing. Stop asking me. Thank you, Vinny Cash. God bless. Why don't some other you follow suit? Somebody do 111. It's episode 111. Or somebody do $1.11. I don't care. I am going to, yeah. So if anybody I'm going to hold new host auditions. I'm just going to take this whole channel from Ski rather than, everybody tells me to start my own network. And as I've said time and time again, I have a real job, real life, things to do. I do this for fun, a few hours a week, a few hours out of the however many hours are in a week. It doesn't take up much time in the grand scheme of things. And I certainly don't have time or a care to get 1,000 followers on a new channel. So I might just I might just coup Ski Mask and take this channel over and leave him in the dust, frankly. Amazing what's happening. But we wish him well. I don't know whose pool he was in. Yeah. All right. Back to business. As always, all super chats will be read, as you see here, especially the red ones. Get it? Red. I'm an English major. We always check the poor people chat since I'm the man of the people, the modern day Jim Jones. I'm working not only once I get a new computer, I will then be saving up money to purchase that compound. Or Vinny, why don't you build us out a compound there? And Utah is perfect. Utah is the home of cults, basically. I mean, Mormon religion and so forth. I shaved real quick before I get into work. I didn't even double check the symmetry on this, but I guess I did a good job. The mustache is getting rave reviews this year. I don't know what happened. I don't know if it's because I'm older. Anyway, I have ADHD. What the hell was I talking about? Oh, the ground rules. Yes, all super chats will be read. If you want something definitely read or a question, or you want to submit a song for me to sing with my award-winning voice or an impression, just super chat it, and I will not only put singers in a body bag with my magnificent voice, I will also put other comedians who do this for a living in a body bag with my impressions. All super chats read. We'll check the poor people chat intermittently. Feel free to cut out the middleman and send money directly to my accountant. His Venmo's at DaveD23. I can't be trusted with money, so send it to him. Cut out the YouTube lawyers. And join the Patreon for $3. Another startling Patreon uploaded just last week. As soon as this is done, I will be uploading the unbelievable, by the way, kayak excursion I went on Monday. It's members only currently. In Purgatory, I put it members only before it goes on the Patreon, so you can also do that. Many ways to support this fine program of two blue-collar men. Really 1.5, since Ski Mask barely does anything anymore, although he takes half the money for some reason. But if you missed it, ICYMI, that's in case you missed it for the old folks, I ran into a gray seal right there in Long Island Sound. Hung out with him it's all there. It'll be there on the Patreon when we're done here. It's on YouTube members now. We found a seal out there. Also, it could have been Patrick Milton. It might have been Patrick Milton. I don't know. It looked like he weighed upwards of 500 pounds. But you want to see a real man do real things, real athletic things that all these other podcasters could never even, frankly, never dream about. Not only dream about, they probably can't even dream about it. Most of these people are just scared of salt water to begin with, much less cohorting with seals miles off the coast. So that'll be up on the Patreon. It's unbelievable what's happening out here. Now, this is a sports program, but I did go on a mini Bendy Wendy. If you follow me on Twitter, you probably saw some remnants. Ended up, I went out a little bit Wednesday night. Working man, that was my Saturday, or my Sunday even, as they say. Pretty much busy through Monday, St. Patrick's Day, as it were. I'll probably step out again then. So I went out Wednesday night, had some fun, best bar in America. Had a wonderful time. And got home late. Tied a few on when I got home with the cohorts, and had to get up early to give a lady caller a ride. And had the day off Thursday, so Daddy just tied it on. Grabbed an espresso martini. It was the morning after all. I went right on down to where my dead father's bench is. It's called Cove Island. Fed some crows, smoked a joint. That'll also actually, I totally forgot because I was half in the bag, or 3/4 of the way in the bag. I did a live as well, driving drunk and on drugs. That will also be uploaded to the Patreon as soon as we're done here. There's a lot going on for $3. Now you're not going to get anywhere else. Or you can just watch guys watch other people's shows and not talk. Or you could watch guys just make up people, men 50 and older, threatening to sue each other, nothing ever happening. So if that's what you like, go for it. We do real shit here. We leave our house, as we say. So wonderful time. Ate Taco Bell at 10 a.m., passed out for a bit, and here we are. That was yesterday. And now we're back on the grind. Sports, we have sports. Back to sports, folks. As you know, as I talk about every year, thank you again, Vinny Gash. I forget if I actually said thank you. God bless. Come on, send them in. Who wants to be Vinny? Show these other podcasts that they're gay. Send in some money, or don't. I frankly don't care. I'm not gonna stoop down to these people level. As I tell you, as soon as the Super Bowl wraps up, we enter the sports abyss. And we are coming down to the end of it, folks. We are essentially, technically March Madness starts with the official tournament. I've always said I think this week and next week are really the heart of March Madness. You can make the argument for the second week of the NCAA tournament. But I got it on. Who do we have here? We have Ole Miss and Auburn. I got money on this game. I got money on the Memphis game. We'll get to all that in a minute. We're going to talk bets. NFL free agency is off and running. We'll get to that. I got to touch on golf. I got to touch on Steph Curry. I got some stuff we're going to get to. We got a lot to get to. Could be a long one, might not. Depends how much I sing. It depends how much I sing and how much people send money. I'm checking my Venmo. Just kidding. So we are nearing the end of that sports abyss. We've had over 50 degrees this week here in New England. The days are longer. It's a full moon today, folks. There was a lunar eclipse early this morning. If you were out there like me around 2:30, you caught it. You got to pay attention to the nature, folks. If you're going to join the Stancelites and join our compound once it opens, you're going to have to keep track of the cycles of nature. That's a requisite. So start getting up on that now. Hashtag Stancel Outdoors. And we're almost there, folks. We're almost there. The dark month of February and early March of sports is coming to an end finally. NFL free agency, like I said, is popping, as the kids say. Baseball is going to be starting in just a couple weeks. And, of course, I have my tickets for Mets opening weekend. I'll be there in left field right behind George Springer. Already started looking up his Wikipedia to scream shit at him. And, of course, the tournament pulls us out of the sports abyss that is the period after the end of the Super Bowl. But yeah, the conference, these weeks of conference championships, a lot of fun. You have basketball noon to midnight pretty much every day now, all week, and it'll end through Sunday. And of course, next week we get off and rolling with the tourney, Selection Sunday, as they call it. I will be taking off work and day drinking probably next Friday to get cock jackhammered and watch basketball. This coming Thursday, by the way, tentatively, I will be in Conti and Garrett Studios in Staten Island. Barring anything that comes up, hashtag real job, hashtag real life, but all things being equal, I am scheduled to join Garrett and Steve live from Staten Island on Thursday. I've never set foot in Staten Island. Many people say that was the original borough. That was almost going to be Manhattan. but they opted for whatever, the actual Manhattan. Anywho, I don't know what the fuck I'm talking about. I'm itching my ass. We got the big Celsius today, folks. After yesterday, we needed a big boy. Buys and tries at the gym this morning, if you can't tell. I couldn't wear a tank top because I just looked too powerful, frankly. Anywho, all right, what are we starting with? Where do we want to go first? Da da la da 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 la. Yeah, I'll do whatever I want, frankly. Let's see what are my little notes here. We'll definitely talk about my bets. We'll get to that. I guess we could tick it off the to-do list and talk about golf real quick. Not that there's much here. I've talked about this many times in the past about golf and how embarrassing it's become. And what I mean is the Barstool Bros, the Saturdays are for the boys culture, which I've always been against. I think it's embarrassing. Just drink on whatever day because you want to drink. You've heard me rant about this. Same reason why I think it's cheap to drink on holidays. Oh, I'm gonna get drunk with my uncles on Thanksgiving. I'm gonna drink on St. Patrick's Day because everybody Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Kiss me, Irish. Now, no! Drink because you want to drink. Drink when you want to drink. Don't let a calendar dictate when you do and don't drink. I don't even let a car dictate when I do and don't drink. Ask my 2 DUIs what I think about when I want to drink. Okay? Just spittled up a bit. So Saturdays for the boys has always been gay, and listen, my generation, give or take 5-10 years, people my age, give or take, are to blame. I'm not, because I've risen above, I've ascended. Many people are saying to godlike levels, frankly, but I've ascended past this trash barstool bro culture. But it does annoy me as an armchair golf fan, former golfer. I retired. If you'll remember back when we started these programs, 2020. There was a time during 2020 when everything was locked down where I was playing on average 4, 5, 6 rounds a week. And I have not swung a club since the end of the 2020 golf season. It's all or nothing with me. As you know, all-American athlete. I either got to go all in or I don't want to do it at all. And I do enjoy golf, especially like the other day, it's 60 degrees and you drive by a course and it's beautiful and you think about the beers, you think about those, handful of shots around, for the average golfer that they say keeps you bringing you back. Just stuffing one pin high 5 feet away. It is a great feeling as a competitor. However, it's offset, as all of you people know, by the furious anger and frustration that golf brings. And as a man with severe anger issues, I think I lost 4 clubs in the last month of playing, literally. 2 I threw in a lake, and I think another 2 I broke over my leg. So that's why I essentially retired. Because if I'm going to play something, I want to be good at it, or at least I want to give myself a chance to be good at it. And with golf, it's a lot of time, first of all, which is why it's almost, I hate to say it, as much as I like pro golf, casual golf is kind of a mouth breather, as I've always said. Just like I was saying, great segue, an excuse to drink for a lot of these guys. You hate your wives, you hate your lives. So you justify it by saying you're going to golf, when in reality, these guys shoot 120 and are just hammered. My point is, it's a big time suck. It's basically a whole day if you play 18. 4 to 6. There's 6-hour rounds around here at the municipal courses with how slow and retarded people are. And you're hammered, and it's money. And then to get good at it, you just like any sport, you got to practice it. But to practice golf, you got to go to a range. That requires lugging your bag. That requires another 20, 30 bucks if you're going to hit 100, 150 balls every couple days, which is what you're supposed to do. So that is why I retired from golf. I think I'll be back eventually, but I've really had for that feeling you get of driving by the course on a beautiful day and wanting to, get on that back nine away from the streets, quiet, booze, get the little speaker going in the car, what have you. It's offset by all the memories of the hell that comes with golf, as well as, not to mention, the money loss. So anyway, that was a little bit of an aside, but back to the issue at hand. I do not like this bro culture that has entered pro golf. It started, and I warned you about this. I've talked about this everywhere this fucking show. The stupid waste management deal where everybody gets hammered. They go to that hole 16. They're throwing beers. There's guys in chicken costumes. And that used to be the one-off of the golf season where all these bros can get it out and everybody's drinking. Okay, golf, and maybe I'm a purist, even though I didn't even grow up playing or watching golf, really. Golf is supposed to be a classy game. There is what's the word I'm looking for? There is a decorum, that's the word. There's a decorum to golf, unlike other sports. You're supposed to respect the course. That's why, and listen, as you might imagine, I'm not one to be against getting absolutely hammered on a golf course many times, but just be aware of that's what you're doing. I get annoyed when you see the guys who are totally hammered and they're blasting music on hole 12. I'm for playing music in the cart, but keep it within your party. Keep the loudness within your party. But I fear that golf is going the way of the bro because they continue to try to grow the game. And I hate to say it, that will be, that is a way to get more people interested, is to bring more fun into it. But I personally don't like it. I want a quiet golf course. I don't want dudes yelling Baba Booey. That's what really started it. By the way, ran into Baba Booey at one of the soccer ball clubs last week. Very nice guy. Most of these people could only dream of meeting him. I see him all the time. Hey, Gary, what's up? What's up, Gary? No big deal. Well, all you losers just suck his cock. I want a nice, boring golf course. I want everyone to shut up. It's called golf claps for a reason. I don't even want yelling. If somebody makes a hole-in-one, just clap real hard. Don't even make any noise with your mouth on a golf course. Ever. And now you got, again, the Baba Booies, the mashed potatoes. You got waste management, which is a disgrace. You got the Ryder Cup, which just turned into a disgrace. It's just a joke. All these guys yelling. And then, I was reminded of it because he had the kid the other day, get the Players Championship this weekend, and you had some bro the other day yelling shit at Rory, and Rory took his phone. And then you see the Barstool guy. Who's the guy? Rusty hitting. Why are these fat low? First of all, everyone who works at Barstool is morbidly obese if you go by their BMI, and they all have neck beards, and they are not athletic. Why do any of you people pay any credence? And I was on the bottom floor of Barstool when it was KFC and Clem and what's a Chicago guy? Big Cat and Portnoy. Early 2000s. I'm literally 2003, 2004, when it was just a website and there was a couple articles a day. And now I don't even know what's going on. He's got have you guys seen these storm chasers, by the way? If you want to cringe, if you want to get cringe goosebumps, while you're watching this, feel free to pull up, look up on Twitter at least. I assume they're on Instagram too. It's Storm Chasers. It's just two girls, 2 6s, maybe 7s on a good day. One of them has like a Charles Schultz Peanuts mouth, or just a long, like squiggly mouth. but not very attractive, and it is just cringe. They're sponsored by Buffalo Wild Wings, so they're always mentioning Buffalo Wild Wings, and essentially it's to storm the court, hence storm chasers, and they wear rain gear and go to games that they think are going to be an upset, and it is just the most forced cringe. Storming the court has also gotten out of control, by the way. Listen, when you have an unranked team beat a top 5 team, storm the court, and it's football too. I don't want to see, like, this year you had like a 10 beating a 6, and there's kids storming the field. Grow the fuck up. Not everything has to be the greatest thing ever. In unranked, who was it a few years ago in football? It was like Appalachian State beat like Florida or something. That's what you storm a field or a court for. You don't storm a court because of a mild upset, you fucking losers. Takes away from the real storming. And that's why storming the court's a joke to begin with nowadays. And then you got these dumb mid-broads who are basically just doing Buffalo Wild Wing commercials. I saw security actually kick them out of the student section, which was awesome last week. But there's no funniness to it. It's just nothing to it. So I don't know if Portnoy's doing it as a troll. That's what it almost seems like because it's so bad and cringe. But my point is Barstool, present-day Barstool is a joke. Just like I don't understand how anybody watches these telethon super chat shows anymore where guys just make fake drama and watch other people's shows and stream for 5 hours, and for some reason you people give them money. I also don't understand how anybody watches Barstool content. Again, I originally liked it for like the couple articles for a different take. That was before, that was the only alternative sports news back in the day in the early 2000s. It was just your mainstream. For me, WFAN 660, Mike and the Mad Dog, Tony Page, Steve Summers, I can go on, and ESPN, and then that was it. And then and Barstool was kind of the alt sports take. And now it's just, I don't even know what it is. I hate all of it. So yeah, rack me, Stancil Stradamus. Oh, time is flying here. Jesus Christ. Somebody join Vinny Chat in the super chat. It's really embarrassing when there's just one super chat, although it's a wonderful super chat. Or just Venmo me, frankly. Or don't do either. I don't really care. Let's give a quick check to the poor people. Again, if you want something definitely red, you have to super chat it. The numbers, massive numbers in the free chat. So I'm just going to briefly skim through. Funky Broncos didn't take his medicine again. Yeah, Vinny Cash doesn't ski. He's not. I mean, skiing is obviously, everyone knows, is the classy winter activity. As I've always said, skiing, easier to learn, harder to master. And you're talking to a double black diamond parallel skier right here, folks. Snowboarding, harder to learn, but easier to master. They mostly just sit in the middle of the mountain and ruin everyone else's day. And I skiboarded for one season as a younger man, and it is just annoying. You gotta constantly taking your foot out, and you gotta hop around. It's snowboarding, and but it's cool. Just skiing, just much more versatile. Sorry, Vinny. I guess I'm not gonna get that invite out west after all. Although I will be out west at the end of May with Victor and Aunt Mead, and we will be running the choo-choo on Lady KB. Kidding, of course, unless she wants to. My wife is loud and annoying. Who else is in here? Let's see. Gary Biscayne, also a gay snowboarder. Da, 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 da. Mr. White, you stop podcasting. Is Mr. White on Twitter? Because I'll block him. Oh my God, the block. We'll cover this more on Ski Mask Collective, but it's been so fun blocking everyone. I'm up well over 50 blocks now, folks, just today. Let's see. We'll block Mr. White live. Anybody else you guys want blocked? Feel free to. You're gonna have to sue. Oh, there he is, Mr. White. Sarcasm underscore something something Inc. And he is now blocked. Nice knowing ya. Ha ha ha. Fuck around and find out. As I keep saying, your guys' loss. I know my content is funny. My takes are amazing. I'm not missing anything from not seeing you losers post. You're losing it all. And I'm gonna keep the block train rolling. It's been less than 2 weeks. I'm approaching 60 blocks, and it's so easy, and it's so fun, and I've never blocked anyone in my Twitter career, so I've really been enjoying this blocking renaissance. I hope I lose all my followers. It means nothing to me. But it is fun. Go support the blocking. Money talks. If there's anybody you want blocked, Venmo me, super chat it now. I'll go block them. We're having a great time. Ooh, look at this big ass. Sorry, I got distracted by a huge ass on my timeline. As most of my day is just getting distracted by big asses. Shout out St. Ranger. I see he's in the chat. Anything else? A lot of crosstalk here, folks. Less crosstalk, more super chat. I don't drink and drive, Vinny. What the fuck? I made my wife drive or take an Uber if I'm drinking. Gay! First, you're snowboarding. Now you're not drinking and driving. Why don't you just move to fucking China? The rest of the communists. That's what America's all about. Oh, you guys are planning a trip to Snowbird, Gino and Vinny, and I don't. Okay, all right. Well, I understand. You don't want to be embarrassed by my athletic talent. Most don't. It's why a lot of people don't invite me places because of my athletic prowess. All right. What do we want to talk about? Where do we want to go next? Do you want to talk about my bets? Do you want to touch on Steph Curry? Let's talk about my bets. Daddy's been on a bit of a heater, folks. And by heater, I mean I'm betting a few shekels at a time. But I'm making my money back. I cashed out 40 last week. I doubled my input. So let's see I know I got a bet on this game. Too much to cover to even talk about all my amazing bets. Let's see just what we have open right now so you guys can join me if you like. We have, last night I just won again. It doesn't stop, frankly. Come on, you piece of shit. Load, damn it. I'm trying to do a show. I like how Mr. White says I should stop podcasting when he watches podcasts of guys who watch other shows and eat food and don't talk for minutes at a time. Right. I'm not a ball washer, so I call it like it is. You guys can suck on all the nuts you want. Not me, Daddy-O! I call it like I sees it. Nobody else can. Everybody's too scared of this or that. Sorry, the truth sucks, and the truth hurts, and most of these shows sucks. Kafka in the heezy, my kneesy. That means in the house, my you-know-what. $10, let's bet. All right, let's do it. Why are my bets not loading? Hey, DraftKings, I told you guys last week I had a conversation with their AI bot, and I threatened to leave and go to FanDuel, and I didn't. Maybe I should have. Hey, my bet's open. Show me what there we go. Okay, all right. We got 2 parlays open at the moment. Now, I'm going to read my parlays. In the meantime, folks, I'm opening it up to the people. Send in, you're going to have to super chat it because that's how we prioritize which one I do, but just do $2. $2 doesn't have to be Throw out, what should I bet on tonight? Here's what I have on the books already. We got a 5-leg parlay here. 5 legs between between 5 games. Here we go. We have Michigan State money line. They are currently up by 15. That's looking wonderful. We have Wichita State plus 12.5. They're currently tied with Memphis, Stancil-Stradamus, so that's looking great. We got St. John's money line. If you haven't been, they're playing Marquette. If you haven't been paying attention, St. John's is having a good year. There's a good chance they can make some noise in the tournament. Stancil-Stradamus, you heard it here first, folks. The Garden is alive and well again. Between the Knicks and the Johnnies and the Rangers, who are looking like they're not making the playoffs. So we got St. John's playing Marquette. Took the money line there. We got UNC and Duke tonight. I took North Carolina. I bought some points. I took Carolina plus 12.5. It looks like C.J. Flaggett or whatever his name is, the white guy on Duke, is not going to be playing. He's resting up for the tournament. And I think UNC might pull that out anyway. They always play close games with Duke, so easy money there. UNC plus 12.5. Now, I'm sure that's going to come back and kill me now that I said that. And then tonight, we got the Alabama money line. That's a 5-pick parlay plus 455. I put $10 on that bad boy to win $55.50. And our other parlay is a 4-leg parlay between 2 games this afternoon. Since I've got it on here, I will be watching. I figured I'll do a couple that I'm going to be able to watch. 2 games, 2 picks per game, $8 to win 22. We got the Ole Miss Auburn game here. I took the Auburn minus 4.5. They're up by 4 at the moment, so that's okay. And I'm taking the under 166.5. I moved both of those. I'm big. If you haven't noticed, I'm big on moving the game lines and the total lines. Just buy the points. Buy the points. Would you rather win and win less money or just lose it all anyway? Yeah, I'd rather win. So I am big on buying points either way where you need them to shore it up. So that's that game. And then coming up at 3:30, we got Texas, Tennessee. I got Texas plus 15.5 for pretty cheap. And over 127.5. So that's your 4-leg parlay. I've yet to put on. We got NHL tonight. We got NBA tonight. I haven't put in any of those. So if anybody wants me to bet on anything, we can cheer or boo together. Throw it out there. What did I win? I had some big wins recently. Unbelievable. What was the biggie? Actually, no. What was my big one? Yeah, who gives a fuck? Who fucking cares about any of this anyway? I'm doing this for fun. Playing with Abe. But what was I singing in my car? I did another beautiful version. As you know, this show is mostly about my singing and impressions now. With sports sprinkled in. What was I just singing in my car? I recorded it. Let's see. Let's find out together. And of course, that was Sabrina Carpenter's Espresso, the beautiful version. Let's see what this is. Oh, it's the same thing. What was this one? Oh, this is it. We played this last week, but it's a classic. And we'll have the Mexicans clean the stove. That was the stove version. I like the pool version. And we'll have the Mexicans clean the pool. And of course, there's no place like home for the holidays. There's no place that I'd rather be. There's no place like home for the holidays. And the holidays will come for me. More talent in my left nut, and they are big nuts physically, than most of these people have in their whole body. Talk about me, talk about my espresso. Still don't know the lyrics of that song, but caring about lyrics is gay, dude. It's so gay, dude. It's my Shane Gillis impression. It's gay, dude. God bless him. Never forget that I sat next to Shane Gillis in the back of West Side Comedy Club and that fateful Comedians of the Compound where Gino broke 3 microphones and Kevin Brennan wore a cowboy hat. Better times. I always forget about that. I sat with Shane Gillis in the back, a young bull, a young, relatively unknown comic at the time, and everyone to a person talk about how funny he was, and the rest is history. Speaking of that, allow me to wax poetic for a second. I don't know why I've been thinking of this more often, perhaps because there's more distance between the times now that I can be put in a perspective of time and space, but I'm not going to say I miss it or want it back, but it was a special time in space, that year of 2020, 2021, 2022, especially during that, obviously hack to say, but that bizarre, weird lockdown period. I had moved back into mother's house, as has been well documented. After I owned a house, unlike most of all of you, I actually did own a house at the end of a cul-de-sac on 2 acres in the woods. Unlike all of you, I already achieved and then went backwards. Broke up with the fiance, moved back home, built out the back of that garage, made a beautiful, beautiful room. And my point is, I just remember those afternoons where I was free, pull up, roll a blunt, start rolling a blunt at 2 o'clock with Gino and Aaron starting up there around 2:10, 2:15. You start rolling the blunt at the beginning of the show. You smoke it during the show. On my little recliner there, door open if it's nice spring weather like this. And then that would roll essentially. After in hot water, you go grab a bite from the house. I would go grab a bite from the house, folks. Then you come back out, and that was when MLC was still a real show. And it went right into MLC at 4 o'clock. And that was the day. That was my day, those awkward years, halcyon days as they call them. I would get all my shit done before 2 o'clock, pull up a chair, go to the gym, pick up a sandwich or something, roll a blunt watching Gino and Aaron, smoke the blunt, get the sandwich, watch MLC when it was great, when it was a real show, a real podcast, not a telethon like it is today. A telethon, not only that, but just embarrassing people he constantly has on a once great program. Every now and then there's glimpses of hope, but I keep trying, folks. Still love Kevin. I think someday it'll be great again. You know, when you're living off the backs of 5 to 10 people, the same 5 to 10 people who super chat anything worth mentioning, eventually it dries up. It can't happen forever, but anywho, I don't know. That was neither here nor there, but I've found myself hearkening back to days of yore recently, and I would never want to go back there again, you know, as far as life-wise, forced into it, but there was something to those halcyon days, as they call them. Oh, well! And now, again, I tried again. I turned it on. I just saw Kevin was talking about Anthony, so I turned it on. And Kevin wasn't talking about Anthony. Kevin was just not talking and watching Anthony's show. Literally, I gave it a chance. I left it on for almost 5 minutes. And Kevin didn't say a word. He's just watching. It's just bizarre. I don't find it interesting at all. To each his own, I guess. If that's what you want to give money to, at least I can sleep at night knowing I do a real show. So, anywho, I'll keep trying. Maybe someday it'll be interesting again. So Keanu went on the other week. I touched on that. That was at least semi-interesting. And then it was just, bookended by watching other people's shows and reading losers' comments over and over again, the same people over and over again. Our fans, you guys do it right. One big super chatter show, and that's it. You tune in because of me. We all know it. The people that watch MLC now just tune in to see their little sip chats read. It's gay. Anyway, we talked about this too much already. Save that for Sunday in Ski Mask Collective. It's touch. NFL free agency is off and running. I saw Gino. Who did Gino's Chargers get? I saw. Oh, Najee Harris. At least it was. Looks like they're finalizing it. I didn't do any research because I have a life, but I'm not really sure what happened there in Pittsburgh. So let's start with Pittsburgh itself. And if you watch this wonderful program weekly, you know what I'm going to say. As I've been saying it, the Jets should have never gotten rid of Rodgers. He is by far the best option at quarterback on the free agent market. I would even go as far as saying I would love to see them take it back. So, excuse me. But by far, I told you it was the Colts or the Steelers, the best landing spot for Rodgers, for the franchise and him. It is not even close. And frankly, I said it before they signed DK Metcalf. Now everybody's saying the same thing I said. Stantos-Stradamus does it again. What else is new? But yeah, the Steelers, it's almost a no-brainer. I'm surprised it's not done yet. Because Rodgers has to go to a win-now team. The Giants didn't make any sense. No offense to Giants and their fans. I know I'm a bitter Jets fan, but they're just not. Neighbors? Neighbors the nose, they call him. I call him because of his big nose. Besides that, I mean, that's not a win-now team. Sorry, Giants fans. The Jets, say what you want. At least before everybody left, when Rodgers left, they win-now talent. Technically a Pro Bowl running back, Pro Bowl wide receiver, and talent all around. Good tight end, good defense with an actual coaching staff. The Jets should have never let him go, but the Jets are the Jets, and they'll never make the right decision till I die, apparently. The Steelers, by far, no-brainer for Rodgers. Win-now team, Steelers can still go out and draft a young QB to play behind him and learn from him for a year. It's really ideal for all parties involved. So I am surprised that they got rid of Najee Harris. I know they have Jaylen Warren there, who's a hard-nosed back. I don't mind him. I don't know, is he an everyday back, an every down back, I should say? I guess we'll see. I think he can be. He's a banger. And listen, with Aaron Rodgers, that's what you need. Just a solid run game. You don't need a dynamic running back with Rodgers. It helps, obviously. But you just need a reliable running back who's not going to turn the ball over, who's good enough where the running game will be a threat to set up the play action and the passing game for Aaron. So, with DK and Pickens there, I imagine it's a no-brainer for Rodgers now. I'd be very surprised if the Steelers aren't pursuing him. I believe they are. But that is a no-brainer, and I think Rodgers signs with the Steelers immediately in Super Bowl contention. No doubt about that. Talk about me, talk about my espresso. Espresso. Anyway. Jets signed Justin Fields. Just a compounding culture of idiocy in the Meadowlands with the Jets. It never ends. So now we get a guy who essentially can't cut it on. I mean, this is just another classic Jets middling quarterback signing. So you sign a middling quarterback. The only silver lining with Fields is that the Jets' offensive line does stink, so at least we have a mobile quarterback so we can run away out of the pocket. You know, he's not a pocket quarterback anyway, which that's the way the league is going back to, as a pocket quarterback. So leave it to the Jets to, not understand what's going on in the league and sign a mobile quarterback who are they're seeing the end of that era now. So, of course, the Jets signed Justin Fields. I mean, listen, this guy couldn't cut it in Chicago. He did okay in Pittsburgh, but he was in basically a perfect situation in Pittsburgh. They interchanging him to what fits his game plan last year in Pittsburgh. And now you're putting him in the biggest market, under the biggest microscope. Again, the other silver lining is that him and Garrett Wilson played together in college. Yeah, that's great and all. But again, Justin Fields was good in college. I've yet to see him be great in the NFL. So, again, did you want Justin Fields or do you want Aaron Rodgers? Okay? I've said it once. I said it a million times. Say you want about Rodgers last year. He's playing with an injury all year, if you could tell. 29 touchdowns, 11 interceptions last year with 7 dropped touchdowns. That's not a hyperbolic number. That's a real number. So he could have had 35 touchdowns, 11 interceptions with that, literally one of the worst coaching displays in NFL history. And I'm also not being dramatic about that. If you watch the Jets last year, totally embarrassed. No game plan, no direction, nobody held accountable. But yeah, okay. So let's get rid of first ballot, top 5 all-time quarterback Aaron Rodgers. Just let him walk, not even try. And we'll sign a young quarterback who's already a journeyman because he's a middle quarterback at best. Great. Just classic Jets. Who gives a fuck? Why do I even care? Sam Darnold to the Seahawks. Do we care? Not really. Geno Smith to DeMarcus Lawrence, also from the Cowboys, pass rusher, also going to the Seahawks, making some waves, saying he calls things of Dallas as his home, but he knew he would never win a Super Bowl there. So him and Micah Parsons got into it on Twitter. Micah Parsons, one of the lowest class athletes in the NFL, which is saying a lot. Freak athlete, piece of shit human. Sam Darnold to the, see, we said that. Geno Smith to the Raiders to reconnect with Pete Carroll, which I think is interesting. I realized the other day, too, I don't know, this is neither here nor there, but Geno Smith is a veteran now, which is crazy to say. This will be his 4th team. And again, credit to Geno. He's made a little career for himself. When he left the Jets, I thought he was out of the league, but that's just classic Jets. Everybody just plays their worst, apparently, when they put the green and white on. But he's made a little career for himself. Again, as a game manager, he still has some legs to him. So good for Geno Smith. I wouldn't want him back. I would rather Geno Smith than Justin Fields and the Jets. I'll tell you that. I just shouldn't be saying much, but just unbelievable. What else? Gardner Minshew to the Chiefs on a 1-year deal, which is an interesting little signing. Just something to mark down. Maybe there's some kind of injury stuff going on with. I mean, listen, Mahomes is getting older, folks. He is in the back 9 of his career, no doubt about it. So maybe they're just, expecting maybe a few more injuries to pop up with Pat Mahomes as we go here. And the window is 100% closing there in Kansas City. Because it's neither here nor there. But I thought that was interesting. A 1-year deal. Maybe it's just, maybe I'm thinking too much about it. But Minshew to the Chiefs on a 1-year deal. And just over the wire, the birdie sent to me, the Cowboys are making a run at Cooper Kupp. So interesting. Talk about window closing. This is it for Dak and the Cowboys. I think Cowboys don't make certainly a playoff push, if not a deep run. I'm talking NFC Championship game at least this year. I think this is it for everybody. I think Jerry Jones cleans house top to bottom if there's not anything of substance in Dallas this year. And don't be surprised if they have another slow start. I think that team gets cleared out halfway through the season. So just throwing that out there. Stancil Stradamusing it up. You know the deal, folks. Playing with a bow. We got halftime here in the whatever the fuck, Auburn and Ole Miss. Auburn up by 7 at the half, so we're looking good there, folks. The bets are looking good so far. I read them before. I'm not going to say them again. Just go back and watch. I got a little something else to get to before we're going to go over an hour today. But let's check in once again with the poor people chat as I see it's going hog wild. Anybody else I need to block? Vinny Cash is a boy. What the hell are you people talking about? Whose life sucks? I gotta see Funky Bronco. I gotta see the bracket. I have been, and I know Jim Stancil is a very hyperbolic person. I know I can be bombastic, as people say. But truly, for whatever reason, and I can't even claim I have a reason, I've always done well picking tournaments. There was a year in high school, glory days. Hey, look at a young man's eye, glory days, glory days. Oh, I'm on fire. Good night in the soaking wet, and a freight train running right through my hair, and you, I got a bad desire. Oh, I'm on fire. In case you didn't know, Bruce Springsteen is a fucking hack. And all the blue-collar bullshit he sings about were all of his dad's stories. He's a soft-handed theater artist, loser, thespian. So fuck him, too. So anyway, I won 1 year in high school. I won both the men's and women's tournament the same year. I believe I finished, I think I won one bracket last year again, and it was a big one, and finished like second another. It's a mix of me always keeping a cursory view of the basketball season, and, you know, you're almost always gonna. Here's a little free tip, since we're probably not gonna see each other again on this show at least till the bracket begins. You're always gonna get a 12 beating a 5. So pick and choose there. If you have some basketball knowledge, use that there. You're always gonna get a 12 beating a 5, almost always. Yeah, obviously the 8 and 9 games are always 50-50. But the 12 beating the 5 in the first round there, that's where you make some money, folks. That's where you make some points. So of course you're always when was the last time? I'll look it up. My other thing I was going to say was it's never 4 1 seeds in the Final Four. So you got to have if you find yourself with 1 seeds in the Final Four, go back and change something. Because again, to win these brackets, you got to do something that not everybody else has done, right? That's how you get ahead. There's your little bracketologist moment from me, somebody who actually does well with brackets. Let's see. When the last time for number one? 4-1. This is the show. Hey, I'm sorry. Did you want me to? Oh, I didn't talk for 5 seconds. Do you want me to watch someone else's show and eat and not talk for 5 minutes? Fucking, who's gonna get through to these guys? I'll tell you, we the people, folks. That's who. You gotta stop supporting these shows, and they'll change. Money talks. Stop propping up these losers. In Final Four. You'll notice I didn't use speech to text and I did not use AI. That is all for boomers. AI is dead. I know I tweeted about it, talked about it. AI is dead before it started. Nobody my age and younger is using it. It's all old people using it. 2008, almost 2 decades ago, was the last time 4 1 seeds made the Final Four. So there's a little Stancil fact for you. Anything else in the poor people chat? I can get weave delivered. I live in Connecticut. Big deal. Who cares, Vinny? Snowboard trash. Thanks for the money. Playing with a boy. I support the crosstalk. Listen. Just don't be mad when I don't read you're just too many. I like that you guys are having fun, but again, for the millionth time, if you want something read, you got to put a couple bucks behind it. I can't, or else, here we are. Let's see. Vinny Amex is working and not ignoring anyone. I don't know what that means. Funky Bronco is still not taking his medication. Here we go. He's a member. By the way, if you're a member, you're also more likely to have it read. And he super chatted today. Kafka, will the Cowboys ever win anything as long as Jerry Jones owns them? I suggest no. Yeah, it's getting weird at this point. When they had success there in the late 90s, they've been living off the laurels of that late 90s run for a long time now. We're a quarter of a century removed from the glory days of the Cowboys. So I don't know. I mean, I think Jerry Jones' kid is going to take over for him once he's done. So if you're a Jones, the league essentially would have to kick the Joneses out. And at the end of the day, he's an involved owner and he wants to win. So that's what you want. But I don't know. I'm sorry I don't have an answer. I'd be lying if I did. I don't think they're going to win anything with Dak Prescott, if you want me to take a take. I think he's shown you what he is. I think Dak has topped out. I don't think he's ever going to be better than what he already has been. He's a fine quarterback with a great lineup around him. He can be, he can win some games, but he's not the type of quarterback to do it on his own by any means. Junior Coltrane, he's not a member, but he's a regular, and he's usually on point. What the hell? This is just a paragraph here. Vinny, remember a few minutes ago when I totally trolled you and you became a total sucker and I got you really bad. Oh man, those were the days. Sure. You're pure imitation. Take a walk. This guy gets it. Vinny Cash. Play clips of other shows while eating crackers into the mic, please. Yeah, listen. As I wax poetic about those glory days, man. In hot water, going right into MLC at 4 when he had real guests and interesting storylines, and that's when he left his house. I mean, again, it wasn't Stevie Lou who ran with Kevin to the clubs during COVID because he was scared Bobby Kelly was going to beat his ass. I'll give you a hint who it was. I'm pointing at him. I was the guy. I ran security for Kevin when it mattered. Now they're doing the little works. No. Kevin knows who to call when the rubber hits the road. A pure imagination. Oh, love this, Johnny Chopstick, or Jesse James, sorry. MBLC, Mongo Bongos Love Company. That's what it is now. Very good. Put that on a shirt. I'll wear my Mongo Bongo shirt. Ski Mask Collective Sunday, whether Ski Mask is here or not. I'm going to do it because, again, this is a sports entertainment show. So there's a lot of stuff that I'm not going to bring up on this show for branding purposes that we can talk about there. Quickly, the last thing I should have touched on this before football for continuity purposes. Steph Curry hit his 4,000th three-pointer of his career last night, which is great and all good for him. But, I saw ESPN, and again, ESPN is up there with Barstool at this point as far as clickbait bullshit, programming. Excuse you. But I saw on ESPN when I was at the gym this morning, buys and tries. By the way, ran 3 miles, lifted buys and tries, and a 20-minute hit class on the Peloton. Not a big deal. That was just this morning. And I have a bad ankle. I turned my ankle walking into the best bar in America. I may sue Safelite Auto Glass. Keep an eye out for that. Or I may sue the city of Stanford. It was technically the sidewalk was missing a chunk, and I turned my ankle. But I power through. I'm a man. I'm nearly 40. I'm not about all this rest bullshit. Listen, there's times to rest, but, hold on now. There's somebody on TV. It's halftime of the Alabama Ole Miss. What is going on? There's a dog. There's a person doing a handstand with dogs on their feet. I'm out. I don't know what's happening. Sorry, I have ADHD. Where was I? Oh, Steph Curry. And Steph Curry is a classy player. I'll give him credit. And you know me, I'm a stickler for class. That's why LeBron is a fucking joke. Whiny baby bitch. Freak, physical athlete and basketball player for sure, but doesn't have the Jordan in him, doesn't have the killer, has too much bitch. I said now he's taking more time. All these NBA guys mostly are bitches, but we've talked about that ad nauseum. But the question I keep not getting to that ESPN raises, could he be considered the GOAT? And the kids love saying GOAT for you old bags. That's greatest of all time. No, absolutely not. You can have the conversation, is Steph Curry one of the greatest shooters of all time? Absolutely. I'm not going to do a deep dive on that. I don't have it in front of me. I can certainly tell you he's top 5 all time. But no, he's not. He's definitely not top 5. I don't even think Steph Curry is top 10 greatest player of all time. Maybe not even top 20, frankly. And here's the thing with Steph Curry. Steph Curry has essentially perfected the three-point shot. And it's not his fault because he does it successfully, but he's almost single-handedly ruined the NBA because now you have, as I've again covered ad nauseum here, now you got 7-foot Baltic oafs shooting three-pointers, and you got, just ridiculous. Like Arvydas Sabonis growing up, it was like the one big guy who would shoot an occasional three. And now it's like all these guys taking cheap threes. There's no inside game. It's not even basketball. And I mean that. I'm not being dramatic. You go there's more real basketball played at any court you go to, wherever you live, than is in the NBA. There's teamwork, there's passing. Now the NBA is curated to basically just threes. Anything in the paint is a foul. It's a mess. I've talked about this ad nauseum. That's why I much prefer college. Unlike the NFL, where the NFL is a far superior product to college football. College football is barely a farm system for the NFL. A bunch of amateurs sprinkled in with a couple pro players. I much prefer college basketball to the NBA, especially nowadays. I always have. But listen, back to my point. Steph Curry, and this is a hot take, stands a hot take, but It's almost borderline a carnival act with Steph Curry in the three-pointers. I put it this way, and I like to argue. If you haven't noticed, I like to argue about stuff. Argument is the spice of life, I say. Like I had a friend growing up who like always practiced like trick shots, like especially like throwing it behind his back, but he would like practice that. And obviously in a real basketball game that doesn't have a place. Now, obviously three-pointers have a place in real basketball, but he's almost perfected a three-point shot to the point of a circus act. Do you know what I mean? So he's going to finish with whatever. I'm sure I don't have it in front of me. I don't fact check. I barely show prep. I don't care. This is a sports entertainment show. So I don't know where he is now. If he's not already, he'll certainly almost guaranteed to be a top 10 points all-time player, Steph Curry. And he's so he's going to compile huge numbers by the end of his career. But it's almost a bit of a freak show with Steph Curry in the threes. I don't think in any way that makes him it makes him one of the great three-point shooters ever, probably the best three-point shooter to ever play the game. But by no means, the greatest of all time is a whole nother conversation. Obviously, Michael Jordan is the greatest of all time, all facets of his game, from on the court to off the court, to make everyone around him better, which LeBron does not do and never has done. That's why Michael Jordan will always be the best player who ever graced the court. An anger behind the way he plays, the way he works when no one's watching, or work when no one's watching. That's what I base my athletic career also after. That's why I achieved greatness, unlike so many others who failed. All-American athlete, conference champion, just excelling at everything because you got to put the work in. And Steph Curry is a circus sideshow freak with his three-pointers. Rack me. So that's all. I just wanted to weigh in on that. All right. We did it. One last check of the pores. As I said at the top, I'll finish with Patreon.com. I will be uploading 2 new Patreon things right now. One of me on a kayak hanging out with a gray seal in Long Island Sound. And another one just from yesterday morning, drinking and doing drugs behind the wheel of a vehicle, talking about the news of the day. Call ICE, bring home the troops, count all the votes, and Ski Mask Collective Sunday. Let's see if Ski Mask shows up to his own show. Goodbye, everyone. Enjoy the sports.